I never imagined that my life would take such a turn. My name is Elena Torres, and this is the story I never planned to tell. A story of love, hesitation, secrets, and moments that tested my heart in ways I never thought possible. It all began on a rainy afternoon in March. I had just returned from the grocery store when I noticed a car parked in front of our house that I had never seen before. I shrugged it off at first, thinking it was a neighbor or a delivery. But as I walked closer, I noticed a man sitting inside, staring directly at the house, his expression unreadable. I felt a shiver run down my spine. There was something about him, something that made my stomach tighten with fear and curiosity all at once. I did not know it then, but this was the beginning of everything that would change my life. A few days later, I met him properly. His name was Adrian Cross. He was different from anyone I had ever met. There was a confidence in the way he moved, a danger in his calm, and yet a tenderness in his eyes that made it impossible not to be drawn to him. I remember the first words he spoke to me. They were simple, almost casual, but the way he looked at me, I felt like he could see right through to my soul. That day, I felt something stirring inside me that I had buried long ago. A part of me that longed to be seen, to be wanted, to be desired. Over the next few weeks, we kept running into each other in the most unexpected places. At first, I told myself it was coincidence. But then, the coincidences became too frequent to ignore. He seemed to find me no matter where I went, and every time I saw him, my heart betrayed me, racing in ways I could not control. Adrian had a way of making the ordinary feel extraordinary. A walk through the park, a coffee at a small cafe, even a brief conversation in the grocery store became moments that I replayed in my mind for hours. I found myself thinking about him when I should have been focusing on my own life. I started imagining what it would feel like to touch his hand, to hear his voice whisper words meant only for me. And then, one night it happened. He invited me to dinner. My heart jumped, and yet, a part of me hesitated. I was not naive. I had learned to be cautious. But I could not resist. The night was intoxicating. He spoke softly, leaning in close as though our conversation was a secret the world could not hear. His hand brushed against mine, and I felt electricity course through my veins. By the end of the evening, I knew I was in trouble. I was falling for him in a way that terrified me, and he knew it. I could see it in his eyes, a mixture of desire and something deeper, something I could not yet name. Then, one evening, he revealed something that froze me in place. Adrian told me that he was being watched, that people from his past were following him, and that danger was closer than I could imagine. I wanted to step back, to run, but I could not. The pull toward him was too strong. The fear in my chest was mingled with an intense longing. I wanted to protect him, to be near him, to be part of his life even though I knew it might destroy me. Over the next days, the tension grew. Mysterious messages left at my doorstep, shadows lurking outside my windows, and the constant sense that we were being watched. And yet, despite all of this, we could not stay apart. Every stolen moment, every whispered conversation in the dark, became more intimate, more urgent, more dangerous. Adrian invited me to a secluded cabin in the hills. I should have refused. I knew I should have said no, but something inside me whispered that I had to go. The cabin was small, cozy, and lit by the soft glow of the fireplace. The night air was crisp, the silence around us filled with the kind of tension that made my pulse pound. We talked for hours. He shared secrets he had never told anyone, and I found myself sharing things I had never dared to admit. When our hands touched for the first time, it was as though the world had disappeared. His lips brushed mine in a soft, tentative kiss that left me breathless. In that moment, fear and desire collided inside me. I wanted him, more than I had ever wanted anyone. And yet, just as we were lost in each other, I heard footsteps outside. Someone was there. My heart stopped. The danger that Adrian had warned me about was real, and it was closing in. The next few days were a blur. We were constantly on edge, never knowing who might be watching, never knowing what might happen next. But every time I looked at him, every time he smiled, every time he held me close, I felt alive in a way I never had before. Then, one night, it happened. A confrontation that shook us to our cores. Someone from Adrian's past arrived in Evermont, someone with a score that could destroy everything. I stood trembling, feeling helpless, and yet, Adrian held me tight, whispering that he would protect me no matter what. I realized then that I had fallen completely, hopelessly in love with him. The fear had not driven me away. It had drawn me closer. Love, I learned, was not safe. Love was dangerous, messy, and beautiful. And sometimes, love meant standing on the edge of fear and daring to hold on anyway. In the end, the danger passed. Life returned to a fragile normal, but nothing about me was the same. I had found something rare, something real. And even now, when I think of Evermont, of the rain, of Adrian's dark eyes, I feel the thrill of a story that was mine to live. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt an attraction so strong that it scared you? Could you risk everything for someone you barely knew? Comment below and let me know. If you enjoyed this story, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true tales of love, suspense, and unforgettable moments.